Okay, love.
Okay, just pop up. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mariah. I'll be working with you guys today. We're going to build our carts and try to figure out some things, purchase some things if we want, so we can have a very neutral, fun makeup look. How is everybody doing this morning?
Good morning, Miss Mariah. Good morning, family.
Morning. Got my shopping cart ready.
How are we doing this morning? I'm looking. Miss Lovell. How are we doing this morning?
Doing great.
Wonderful. Is this Ariana? How are we doing?
Good, thank you.
Awesome. Where are we from? We could put that in the chat. Facebook, you can put it on in the comments. Let's chat. Let's say, where are you from and what is your comfortability in makeup on a scale of 1 to 5? 1 being like, what? And 5 being like, nah, this is just like a review. Good morning. Is this Miss Zakia Z? Good morning. Once again, my name is Mariah. We're going to build our carts. So we don't need any makeup this morning. We're going to go ahead and just get what we can have so that we can be prepared for the next time we do this. It's on Wednesday. We have New York. Shawnee, you're from New York, right?
Yes, Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Proud to say.
We're on we're a level 4, 1.5. I know how to put on lip. Okay, Shani, thank you. Good job. Miss Teresa, good morning.
Good morning.
Excuse me. Good morning, Facebook. Once again, we are in the chat, in the comments, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being I know nothing, 5 being this is just a review. Where are we and what is our comfortability in makeup? Nice, Miss Kinafu. Let me see. Good morning, Miss Naomi. Brooklyn. So we have a lot of New York. We have DC by way of New York.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
There we go. Good
Yeah.
morning, everyone. I know it's early. I'm with you on that one. But we are here. So let's go ahead and get started. Once again, my name is Mariah. I am not from New York. I am actually from Maryland, born and raised. I am a first grade teacher, but I also am a makeup artist and I love to do it. It makes me feel better. But the one thing that I am very strong about, right, is that I don't do this for nobody else. I do this for me, right? I don't want to look good for anybody else because I do that anyway. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to look good for ourselves. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I know that we are all going through a lot in general in life. And my statement and my mantra for my classroom, for my kids, for the adults, for my church is it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay there. So one thing that I do so that I don't stay there is makeup. It's fun. It's a way for me to get my artistic abilities out because I can't draw, but this is what I do. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to build our carts. So we are not going to put on makeup today. We are going to do that on Wednesday. Come back Wednesday. So, but today we are going to go to Ulta.com and we're going to build our virtual carts together. So if you need anything, I would say it would be your computer or your phone and your credit card. So that you can purchase it if you want to purchase it, or so that you can, or a piece of paper and pen so that you can write down just some of the things that we're looking at. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to get started. So as I said, it's okay. So my personal favorite things are Ulta and Sephora because they both have points that you can get. Which is really cool. Ulta, you can spend it on anything. Sephora, they have little sample sizes of things. So we're going to start with our base. So we're going for a natural everyday look. Natural every day. So the first thing that I like to do is even before, let me fix that. Before we even go into our makeup, you have to do skincare. So wash your face with whatever you're comfortable washing your face with. If you have any questions about that, we can definitely answer that question at the end. Wash your face, dry it, toner, moisturizer. I broke mine, but I also use the Black Girl Magic sunscreen because we need sunscreen. Now this one is the mattifying sunscreen, so it doesn't have any extra oil. But my other sunscreen is also, it's just in my bathroom too, because that's where I do my makeup. That's where I do my skincare. So we're gonna start with a wash your face, moisturize your face, and put on a sunscreen. The next thing is we're gonna go into primer. So there's the Too Faced primer. So with Too Faced, you have multiple primers. You have a moisturizing primer, and you have a plumping primer for your face, and you have a poreless primer. I personally prefer the poreless primer. I have large pores, and so this is going to help to fill those pores, and so it has like a seamless blend, or seamless, like what's it called? Like no holes, or it's smooth. I'm sorry. It's a very smooth canvas to put your makeup on. So the way that I think about primer is that if you have two pieces of paper and I put them together, they're going to fall apart. Primer is the glue that helps those two pieces of paper stick together. So with your face being one piece of paper, your makeup being the other piece of paper, primer is going to help so that your foundation is lasting, so that you have a smooth and blank canvas. So we can start with the Too Faced primer, which is one that I like. And the other one that I like is the CoverGirl. CoverGirl primer. So we're gonna go back and forth between different brands. And all of these are ones that I use. See, this one is a pore minimizer. So it is your CoverGirl primer, which is what you're seeing on the screen. They have neutralizing primers, which is if you have a lot of redness to your skin. But if we scroll down, we can generally see the rest of the primers. So we're gonna start with a primer. After we do our primer, because it's just gonna be a very quick, everyday look, we are not gonna do a foundation in the general sense. We will, however, do a concealer. So I use the Juvia's, I use 2 concealers, especially right now because I'm a little tanner because I worked at a tennis camp this summer. So we were outside all day. So I use 2 concealers. I use your Juvia's Place concealer. And I like this one because the applicator is huge. And just a dot, not a lot. So you don't need very much. So we have our Juvia's Place concealer. This one, I believe, is a mattifying concealer. It's waterproof and it doesn't have parabens and sulfates, which actually helps with your skin. I mean, not having those help your skin not be like completely, rough, not adding those extra things. The other concealer that I use personally, so we have Juvia's Place, is the NYX concealer. I can spell there we go. It was gonna pop up. So it's the Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer. And I use this one to be, good morning. I use this one to be just a little bit lighter than my other concealer. So one is going to be about my complexion and the other one is going to be just a tinge lighter so you can get that brightening effect. And I only use concealer under my eyes. So you have, so far we've gotten our primers and our concealers. After you have your concealer, we're going to keep with the face, is I use the NYX Stay Matte, but not flat. It's a powder foundation, but I don't put it on with a puff. I put it on with a brush. So that's a very airy. Ooh. So that it's a very kind of airbrushed look. And so it's a very, it's a light foundation. And so you have, right after I put on my concealer, you're going to put that on over your face, and that's going to just give you a lighter look without having that a whole bunch of makeup on and not having that cakey kind of look or feel to your face. You don't feel like you have anything on, which is pretty important for me. The next thing that
Mariah, before you move on, do you want to take a question because Kaisha has her hand up?
Definitely. I'm sorry, I can't see her on my, there we go. Yep. What's up, Kaisha? Hey.
Hey. Can you hear me and see me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go back to the concealer. If we were to order online, I seen that there were a lot of shades. How do we, for ourselves? Because like I told you before, I like going to the beauty stores,
Mm-hmm.
To get matched. And so, and sometimes I'm still not convinced. So how do we choose the right shade in those, those choices?
Okay. So right now, I will say that it's a harder thing to do, especially being on the computer. So what I do is I'll look for one that I think is about my complexion. That may be me. So I don't remember what I have. I'm a 13. So at first I'll pick a 10 and then I'll go in and I'll Google Juvia's Place 10. And I'll look for the people who are on there and see, oh no, she's a much different complexion than me. Let me go from there and either go lighter or
That's
go
a good
darker
idea.
according to that.
a good idea. Okay.
So sometimes it it can be a hit or miss because the way some people wear their makeup.
I did. Yeah.
But I find that when I do that, I'm like maybe a shade off, either a shade lighter or a
Mm.
shade darker. A lot of, I mean, like I said, it's hit or miss because you can get right with it, or you that shade lighter and shade darker, which with makeup you can play and fix and mix and do
Yes.
try to make it work.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Cool beans. We'll pause. Does anybody else have any questions so far about the concealer? Facebook, do you have any questions? Are we good to go? I'll take that as good to go. So we did the concealer and we've done the primer. We did the Stay Matte, the foundation. So I find that when I use my Stay Matte foundation or my powder foundation, I don't use a setting powder. For me, they do the same thing. But if you don't want to use a foundation on top of your concealer, you can use, and excuse it for, I use this. So this is the Laura Mercier. It's a setting powder and they have different colors. So they have the different colors I have the translucent, but they also have one that's has a yellow tint, and they also have one that has a brown tint. I used the translucent. When I started using it, they didn't have the different tints, and so I've just stuck with what I know and what I already had. And the last thing on your face, well, not the last thing, but the next thing that I put on my face is a setting spray. So I'll spray my face down to make sure that it does, stay. So I use the Urban Decay. I probably spelled setting wrong. Okay, so then I use the Urban Decay, and this is all nighter. And so this is the last thing that you put on that you'll spray. So this is these two are very similar. So they'll make sure that your face stays where it is. The Urban Decay De-Slicked and the all nighter help to make sure that it your face kind of doesn't slide, because you know how you find at the end of the day that sometimes your makeup looks a little bit different than it does at the beginning. I like to make sure that I spray myself down with this, and I spray it in a kind of star to make sure that I get every single part of this baby. So that's your last thing with your face. Optional is a little bit of highlighter. I like the Juvia's Place highlighter. It's a loose pigment highlighter. So you just have to be careful of where you are when you, there we go. You have to be careful of where you are. You want to make sure that you kind of don't breathe into it, because I made that mistake. Highlighter was all over my bathroom. It was stressful. So you have two different colors of highlighter. You have Champagne Gold, and I have Nefertiti, which they renamed. So you have different highlighters and different highlighters. So you can have, this one is it's not a rose gold, but it's a very light, airy kind of color. But you also have, I also have Becca highlighters, and they can be different colors. Excuse this one, it broke. So you have different colors. So you have real pink, actual pink. This one is a hue of blue. So you can mix and match and share those as well. So the highlighter is just that little extra piece of where the light hits your face. And so no matter where you turn, there's a bit of shimmer to your face. but it's not like shine where it's just completely a lot going on. I put just a tinge on the top of my cheekbone, and then no matter where I turn, you see like oh, she's shimmer and shine. So that is what we're gonna put on our face. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to, which is actually my favorite, which is your eyes. As you know, that's how I can't wink very well. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on making sure, once again, that primer setting, that primer part. So I use the NYX primer, but I guess I could show you on here. So I use a potted primer because a lot of times I don't like to put my hands on my face. So I personally just like it's an eyeshadow base, but I use it as a primer because it is a primer. I use the skin tone, which is not necessarily my skin tone, but it gives a good, so your eyelid is all one color. They have different brands. I think Juvia's Place just came out with a eyeshadow primer of like, the different complexions. I just haven't purchased or bought one yet. But the NYX eyeshadow primer, I use this, and I also use a brush to put it on because it is a pot. So this is just, I think this is a concealer brush. So I just use a brush, I dab it in and pat it on my eye. Because once again, I don't like putting my hands on my eye because that adds oils, all sorts of things. And we need to clear our skin up. So after you do your primer, the next thing that you'll do is your eyeshadow. So my eyeshadow right now, since we're focusing on like your nude look, is I use back to Juvia's Place. We're gonna go to the Juvia's Place Ulta. The Juvia's Place eyeshadow. This is the Nubian. The Nubian eyeshadow palette. Zoos are hard. They have a lot of them, so you can find one that matches you. I actually have all of these. So if we're, for lack of time, we can use the Warrior palette, which also has a lot of those kind of neutral tone colors with some golds. There are some shimmers. You want some flats, but you also want some shimmer to give your eye dimension. So that's my Juvia's Place palette. So I use a very neutral palette. But like I said, I do have the other ones as well. A whole drawer full. After you put on your eyeshadow, I don't put on eyeliner on my top line, on the top of my eye, unless I am doing a cat eye, because I find that it makes my eyes look smaller and it closes them off, which is not what I want it to do. So I just use eyeliner on the bottom, and I got this from CVS. My eyeliner ran out, and I fell in love with this. This is LA Girl. It's a auto liner. It's a kohl liner. So this one automatically, so when I say kohl, it means that it's not felt tip. This is a kohl liner. So it's sort of like a pencil, you can sharpen it. I get the one that automatically sharpens because I'm a little lazy. I don't like having to sharpen my pencils. So I get it in super black, but you can get them in brown, you can get it in white, you can get a whole bunch of different colors. You can also use the NYX brand, which I'm gonna pull out right here. And with NYX, they're little, you can get the chunky ones. So this is a chunky white pencil. So when you use white under your eye, I like to mix it with a little bit of brown so that it's not too dramatic, but it makes your eye look bigger. But I like to use the black. So after I use my LA Girl liner, I will go in with my mascara and I really focus on the top of my my top lashes to make them look as big as possible, especially if I'm not wearing false lashes. So I like the Lancome mascara. It's volumizing, which is pretty much the why I like it. So I have it, I have the same thing. I just have the waterproof version of it. And I like this. I was pushed into a pool in Vegas and my lashes, I didn't look like an otter or a water rat when I came out because my mascara stayed right where it was supposed to be. So that is where, and the last thing is not the last thing I wrote. I thought I pulled everything out, guys. I'm so sorry. I forgot about a very important feature. Eyebrows. Ooh, I was like, wait a minute. Sorry, guys. So this is back a few steps, but luckily we're not putting it on today. So it's okay. So I like to use the NYX Micro Brow because it's really, really skinny. And I like to make my brows look as natural as possible. And so that they are not super chunky or super bright, or not super bright, super chunky or super dark. And so with this being so small, it has a brush on one end, and then it has the actual, what you're going to use to put the actual product on. You can see how small that is. Super, super tiny, especially in comparison to my hand. So I'm able to make very small hair-like strokes. Instead of looking like I'm coloring them in, you can make those small hair-like strokes to give it a more natural looking brow. So then it's like, is it makeup? Is it her? Is it microbladed? You'll never know. So that was my last thing, is putting on, it's the last thing I have for you today, is your brows, to make sure that we get something, if you need them filled in. If you don't need them filled in and you just want them to stay, I use a brow gel. So this is Benefit.
Mariah, I'm sorry, 1 second, before you move on, just for clarification, you said that the eyebrow you shared the eyebrows out of place, so where does it come in, after what?
I put my eyebrows on right before I put on my eyeshadow.
Okay. And there was a question about lashes. What if you lost most of your lashes but don't want to do false eyelashes? This is from Wendy.
Okay, they have, and I cannot think of the brand right now. I know that at Sephora, they have a liner that will, it helps to grow some of your lashes back. If that's something that you're interested in. It's like a serum that you put on, right? Kind of like an eyeliner, and it helps to kind of put all those things, because your eyes are very sensitive, which is why you don't like rub them a lot, because then you'll get like the bags and all of that. Does that answer your question, Miss Wendy?
Yeah, I think I've tried one of those. My problem was consistency.
Oh. Yeah.
It's an age thing. You start losing what you don't want to lose and gaining what you don't want to gain.
Thank you. Okay. I think I know I have a friend who's used it, so I know that does it's worked for her. I don't, everybody's different. So, but I
What
will
brand?
maybe give that a try.
What brand did she use? Because that might be the problem.
I know it was at Sephora. I do not know at this moment,
Okay.
but I can find out.
Find
And
out
if you
for
come back on
Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Yeah,
I will make sure to have that for you.
sure. I do use false eyelashes sometimes when I feel a little glamorous, but sometimes they end up where they shouldn't be.
Okay. You have made my morning, Miss Wendy. You really have. One day I watched, so outside of working at Sephora, I also watched a whole bunch of YouTube to make sure that my placement was there. So I use tweezers to get in as close as I can and shake it down to my eyeliner line and then squeeze them together with the tweezers. It looks really scary because like I said, I have a video of me doing it. It looks really scary because you're really, really close to your eye, but like, how close you are to your eye once you're there. But squeezing them down onto your lashes makes it look much more natural, and it keeps them from, having their own line.
Yeah, that's what I need, I guess. Tweezers and the, what you called it? The clamps. What you just, yeah, I don't have those. Okay.
So I use, like, these are my clamps for my
Yes.
faulties.
Oh,
So I'll use these to clamp it too, but the tweezers is what I find, because I was using that at first to put them on, but I wasn't getting in close enough. So I use like tweezers to get in as close as I can.
Okay, thank you.
Cool beans.
There's another question, Mariah. Yes, what do you think about magnetic lashes?
Good morning. So I don't use magnetic lashes, but I have a lot of friends who do. I think I just don't use them because I've gotten so used to using just glue. But my friends who do, because she's like, I can put on eyeliner, don't ask me to do anything else. And so she, 2-for-1 special. So she'll put that on and it looks really good for her. It looks really good in general. I was like, oh, you put on lashes? She goes, these are magnetic. And I do have a few sets. I just have gotten so used to using the glue. But I think it's a great idea if that's something that you're interested in. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I will say that when she does it, she uses the potted magnetic eyeliner instead of just the kohl liner. She says the kohl liner, it gets a little messy sometimes, and the potted eyeliner doesn't. The potted magnetic, it makes a difference to her too.
Thank you. Do you know which brand has the potted magnetic?
I believe it's Ardell. Ardell has a potted magnetic, and I think Glamnetics, if I've seen the commercials correctly, has a potted, but I know that Ardell has the potted magnetic.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. Oh, this was the last thing, and then all questions, we got you. So this is it's a brow gel for friends who don't want to either add anything to their brows because your brows are luscious and good. Mine are sparse, so I fill them in. But it's a clear brow gel. And so there's no pigment to it, and really it just makes sure that your brows stay in place. Clear brow gel. So we have a few. You have your Anastasia Beverly Hills, you have e.l.f., you probably have a NYX. Mine is Ready Set Brow. It's by Benefit, and this is at Sephora. But the Anastasia, I just ran out of that one. But I know that they both work. So it's just a clear brow gel. It sort of looks like a mascara wand. dip it, brush it over your brows, make sure that your brows are in place and they will stay all day long. And so I'm gonna do one more look over. And we have covered everything that we will need for Wednesday. And then if you want one, you can get on there on Ulta, Sephora, Amazon has some really good brush sets. If you want to look at some brushes, I've gotten, my black set is from, it has nothing on it. And it comes with a few different brushes, a lot of different brushes. It's from Amazon. I cannot think of the name of it because a friend got them for me. So you can get on Amazon. All of these different places have brush sets too. So you don't need that many brushes. I would say that you would need a blending brush, a flat brush, and another. Of course, they're not in the order that I need them to be because that would be too much like right. But there's another kind of flatter brush to pat your makeup, to pat your eyeliner in. Here we go. So these are mostly the brushes that I use when I do my foundation. So you have a flat, compact, a flat, tight brush. You have a loose blending brush. And then you also have a bigger version of this one, but it is looser, denser. So those are the ones that I use for my eyeshadow. A makeup sponge, I use the Real Techniques makeup sponges. And then the last thing is just a big fluffy brush. And that's what I used to put my foundation on. And see how like it's airy so that my foundation isn't like packed on. For your highlighter, you have a fan brush and then a blush brush. So brush wise, these are the ones that we use. Oh. And your big fluffy brush. And then we put on our concealer with this. And there we have it. I know I went fast. I know some of us have to go to work. And I'm so glad that you were able to join us today. Do we have any questions? Good morning, Facebook. Do you have any questions?
Good morning again. Good morning. I have a question. You may have already covered this, but what do you think about skin tints, especially for people who don't want to wear like foundation, but want just a little bit of something to look polished? And do you have any recommendations for skin tints?
Okay, good. I'll start with good morning. So skin tints, like a tinted moisturizer. I know that, who has a, going back? I believe that NARS, NARS, I have their tinted moisturizer and I do like it for those days where, especially when it's really hot outside and I don't want to wear that full face of makeup. That little bit of tinted moisturizer definitely works. The only thing is, because it's not necessarily a foundation, you have to make sure that you find a good comparable shade, because they may not have your perfect color. So it may be just a little bit off if it's not perfect. And so you may have to either add something or make sure that your blush or something else is there to give you a little bit more. But yeah, I enjoy tinted moisturizers. Tinted moisturizer is a really good way to go if you don't want to wear a full face, or you just want just a little, like you said, just to look a little polished, but not necessarily wearing foundation. Men do have it easy. I mean, easy. I'm with you, Miss Wendy. 110%. She said, men have it easy. I'm reincarnating as a man next time. Reincarnating. I'm sorry. As a man next time. Easy. But that is all I have for you today. If I'm excited for Wednesday for us to sit here early in the morning and apply this and take what we've either bought today or thought about buying and actually applying this. And when I say this will probably be about a 30-minute look, maybe less, just so that we can, this is my wake up and go to school and look bright-eyed for my babies. Look, just because God has something, because if nobody will tell you how you look, kids will tell you how you look. 110%. So if we don't have any questions, Miss Shani, I'll give it back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna be sharing about your contact information. How can we reach you?
So you can reach me on Facebook, and it's just my name, Mariah Robinson, or you can follow me and reach me on Instagram, which is @forever_timeless. I'll be honest with you, I'm getting back into trying to do my makeup every day and trying to be more active and showing what I'm doing. But a lot of times it's my Facebook and my Instagram is just a lot of fun teacher stuff, if we're honest. But we're gonna get back into being that teacher of teaching makeup too. So those are both ways to contact me. And if you have any question, comments, or concerns, you can also message me there. Me and Miss Kaisha are friends on Facebook. So we go back and forth too. So like I am welcoming to anybody.
Yes, she's very helpful and patient.
And tomorrow morning, Tuesday, August 17th, we have normalizing sexual abuse prevention, tips on starting those conversations, because I know those conversations can be difficult with have with your children, but this is a great, and Miss Martine Malavers is going to teach us on how we can start those conversations, because it's never too early in any sense. And then on Wednesday, join me back and we can apply what we just learned.
All right, beautiful. So I don't know if there's any new people in this space, but if you're there, please let us know. You can do that by dropping your name in the chat so that you can get the acknowledgement that you so well deserved. Our members will take care of you. And if you're on Facebook, same thing. So just drop it into the comments, and Shawnee is out there and she will let you know what you need to do. So this information on how to reach us and when you can find us is right here on the slide, and it'll also be dropped in the chat. So our schedule, we're here 5 days a week, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 8:30. And Monday and Wednesday, our short days like today, from 7 to 7:30. So we are on Zoom, obviously, and also on Facebook. That's how you can find us. And if you want, you can get text every day to remind you when we're on. So what you would do is to set that up is to open up your text, and in the to section, you would, instead of writing a name, you write the number, 5 digits, right? It's 74121. And then that's it. So then in the text, in the comment section, you will write WE Nation, all one word, Woo Nation, and press send. And that will go to the computer machine thingy, and you will get it an automated messaging. And so we have swag, and the swag, such as your mask and your sweatshirt and your water bottles and your mugs. You you can get right at bit.ly/Ruth Swag so that you can represent Wake Up Everybody wherever you go. And this is how you stay in touch with all of us. So you want to come back. If this is your first time, you need to register. If you've been here, you need to register every week. So this is the link that you would use, bit.ly/Wake Up Movement. And if you want to be a member in our private Facebook group, you will go to bit.ly/community, and that you will fill out some acknowledgement of some rules and ways of being in the community, and then you'll be accepted into the community where you'll be able to watch the replays and also communicate with the facilitators and the members. We also have a Facebook page. Well, I don't want you to get that confused. The Facebook page is public page, and that's actually where Zoom has us live streaming, and that's where the communications happen, just because. But our main space is the group. All right, so we also on Instagram and YouTube, so you can check us out there. You can screenshot this so that you can have the exact letters to get you there. And you have an email if you want to connect with us, is info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. So I'm going to stop the screen share, and we are going to unmute ourselves and give Mariah a thank you and love shower blessing.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Mariah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Blessings to
Thank you,
you.
Queen.
You're beautiful.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you. You're
just your
beautiful, darling.
presence
You.
and your
I learned something
knowledge
today about how
and
to make
sharing your knowledge
And
about
blessings to
makeup.
you.
Thank you so much
I
makeup.
look
for
forward
your
to
Have a
it.
great
presence.
day.
Thank you, Sister
Thank you,
Mariah.
Pull
everyone.
my card.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you, Queen. Thank
Thank
you,
y'all so much.
Queen.
So much.
This was
Thank
beautiful.
you so much.
Some
This
things
is
that happened.
amazing. Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Queen. Thank
Thank
you,
you, darling.
Queen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean and Kenyofo. Love y'all.
Thank you, thank you, Shawnee. Thank
Have a
you,
great day, y'all.
Kinyofu. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Ooh.
Yeah, I know it's that fuzzy feeling, right? It's beautiful.
It is. It is.
Yeah, love is wonderful like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially we
Thank you
love it.
so
So,
much.
love y'all.